Howdy y'all, Michael here. Today is Saturday, January 18th, 2025. I am headed to Forest Hill Civic and Convention Center for the Cowtown Hamfest. So let's go explore this together. Come hang out with me. We're at the Forest Hill Civic and Convention Center, and I didn't think I ever went to this location for the Cowtown Hamfest, but now that I'm here, I have been here before. But folks, it is bitterly cold and that wind is blowing in. I'm leaving my jacket in the car though because I am layered up. Got my base layers on. Trying to keep warm today. But once we get in the building, I'll probably overheat, so best to leave it in the truck. Talking over some copyright music, but this place, Wired Communications, has some great products. A lot of the LED stuff. But I love when they come to the Hamcom, but we don't have Hamcom anymore, so I'm glad they're here. Very nice. Lots of LEDs, a lot of adapters, a lot of other things such as that. And cords. I always need cords. I'll be definitely getting some cheap iPhone cords. They're a lot cheaper than even Five and Below. Guy and stuff, and here's the main event. It's a big swap meet, and probably some vendors here. And there's Mike.
Hi there.
Mike. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
So we'll just walk around, see what we can find. But they do have some seminars, so that's pretty cool. Our cables, can't have enough of that. Some road towers here.
I got rid of them.
So you have kangaroos.
Oh yeah, they're very cute.
What's up, man?
What's going on, man? Tell us about the Skyhook. What you got?
How about better yet?
I'll let
See our
her
new
tell you
product?
this time. That is the new one.
This is our tri-band J-pole.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, we got two different versions. One on a 4x8, one on a 2x6. Over here, made with arrows.
So what's cool is they designed it to where you can actually tune it by sliding that back and forth.
And the stingers go up and down.
Stinger as well.
Oh, wow.
So you can really fine tune this by lifting and lowering the stingers.
So this is Scott and Heidi. You've seen them on the
Hi, guys.
channel before, but they have the Skyhook, and everybody I see in chat love them. You know, all the different YouTube videos, they just love the Skyhook.
So yeah, that's our new product. We're doing the tri-band J-pole.
That's the last one we've got left at the show.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
All sold. So there are demos. They were sold 5 minutes yesterday by the staff. They went and just bought them.
Wow.
They didn't walk off. They didn't get on the table very fast. I mean, it's just like, wow, guys.
So your website is thehamstop.com.
These two, we are clearancing. Those are the last time you will see these at this show or the next.
They don't have the
Clearance those
slot.
Right.
Because we're replacing
That's
them.
the replacements for those two.
So very cool.
Yeah.
Well, check them out at thehamstop.com. They have an Etsy shop. It'll link you right to it, and you can pick these up. Very versatile, very useful. So
You'll see them at a Hamfest near you, as well as Winter Field Day, Summer Field Day, Go Kit Challenge,
All of it.
all those.
okay.
Speaking of Go Kit Challenge, we've got a date. March 15th.
March 15th.
Same
Okay.
place as last year.
So,
Doubletree Ranch
there's-
Park in Highland Village.
Oh, very cool. Very
Yep.
cool.
Remember, it's a free event for all families and for all participants.
All right. I might try to build something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Greg's got cases, you can build something.
Oh, there you go. This is AMSAT. This is amateur radio using satellites. You want to see how big an amateur radio satellite is? It's this little cube right there. That's how big a lot of them are. They used to be a little bigger. This is Tom with AMSAT. So tell me about AMSAT. What is it?
AMSAT is an organization that has been around for 70 plus odd years, who's dedicated to getting and keeping amateur radio in space for amateur satellites and promoting amateur satellites and promoting space communications. And AMSAT kind of works alongside the ARRL program with amateur radio on the International Space Station, and of course, ARRL is involved with a lot more stuff related to amateur radio in space through their various initiatives with NASA and such like that. We just like having fun. There are folks who are a lot smarter than I who know what they're doing, and AMSAT is working on some new satellite designs that hopefully will get launched in a couple of years. But there's organizations affiliated that are AMSAT-esque all around the world, like AMSAT Germany and AMSAT UK, AMSAT India, AMSAT Japan. They're all involved with various satellite programs, and we're glad to be here to talk about amateur radio in space.
So very cool. So he mentioned ARRS, that's ARISS, that's the Amateur Radio International Space Station. So we actually can talk to the astronauts as they're flying over up to 10 minutes.
They have a crossband repeater.
Right.
It also has an APRS system there. They are testing the 2.4 gig ham TV, which was put up back in the late 20-teens and failed and got brought back down and got repaired by the Italian company that built it, and then got back up, and they've been playing with it. And I think eventually they want to do school contacts with actual video on ham radio.
Oh, that would be very cool.
But I haven't heard that that's actually been fully commissioned yet, but it is installed, and that's another aspect. ARRS is trying to is hope, and NASA is very pleased with the ARRS program because it's a great educational outreach for them, and so they're eventually ARRS will be on the Lunar Gateway and future space endeavors as well. So that's cool. And yes, you can. It's not often that you can hit an astronaut on the space station. Mostly it's in crossband repeater.
Yeah, used to be a lot more often before they had telephones. They wanted somebody to talk to.
Yes, but it is cool. I've worked an astronaut. He's worked an astronaut. He's worked an astronaut.
Yeah.
But it's not often. It's not.
Yeah. A friend of mine did it during a field day multiple times. He had multiple contacts, and I was editing video on another vehicle, so I was a little disappointed that I didn't get to do it.
But anyway,
I've heard him passing over doing reading.
Fun, but on average, it's in crossband repeater mode. What's kind of cool is they can just pick up the microphone and transmit on the radio doing the crossband repeat, and it comes out. So it's a lot easier than it used to be. So and it's a lot better than when it was with the old Ericsson radio.
Yeah, I've seen it done with just an HT.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I mean, you can get a lot better setups like you got over there.
No, yes, and I've done it with an HD too. In fact, that's what he's going to do. Well, he's going to use the mobile radio for the couple passes that we're going to do today. It's pretty stinking cold out, and I was supposed to do a presentation yesterday, but I had to work.
Yep, I was there too. I would have been here yesterday as well.
But so we're just going to talk about it. He's got. He built the AMSAT CubeSat simulator, which is the it's a buy your own parts kit.
Right.
But it simulates the functionality of a CubeSat, and that is the size of a CubeSat, a 10 by 10 by 10 centimeter cube. That's a 1 unit CubeSat. They can build them in stacks.
Right.
But it's a common form factor for small satellites. So there are the launcher modules and put. Where's the other sheet code? Here it goes. Cool. That's the life cycle of a CubeSat. How it gets built, how it gets integrated into the P-pod on the launch, on the fairing, inside fairing of a launcher. There's a main satellite there, and this might be a secondary payload, and they can. Depending upon how much space you got and such like that, anywhere from a couple to dozens of CubeSats can be transported along with a primary payload, and that's how AMSAT's Fox satellites got launched as secondary payloads.
Oh.
I feel like I'm doing a slide presentation. Our Fox satellites were, we had the transmitter receiver module, the IHU unit, which is a computer, and then we offered board space to universities and colleges to be able to place their experiments on board. And that's how we got several free launches from NASA through the Educational Launch of Nanosatellites program.
Oh, very cool.
And we are also offering the linear transponder module, which is the transmit to receive board in the IHU, so basically the radio, to any university that wants to use it as part of their CubeSat program. And so we've gotten on the University of Washington's HuskySat. We were on the currently orbiting and functional University of Maine NESAT-1, and that got them a free launch because they were doing experiments, and we got amateur radio by giving them the LTM. So that's kind of a cool way. A lot of options for getting educational activities tied to, and the advantage with us is we can put the data for their payloads onto our data downlink, and that's how they get the results of their experiments. So it's a win-win situation. So if you know a university that wants it, it's doing a CubeSat program, send them to AMSAT Engineering. They can help.
Oh, very cool. And this is just one of the many things you can do with amateur radio.
Oh,
But so if you're interested in the satellites and actually talking through space, I mean, they're not very big, but you can get thousands of miles from radio to radio just by using one of these AMSAT repeaters.
So Jack built a frame for a couple of Yaesu FT817s. So he can do linear satellites. One becomes a receiver on maybe 70 centimeters. The other becomes the transmitter on 2 meters. And so, and there's software to control them, or if you're really skillful like I'm not, you can manually click the knobs and follow the Doppler shift and keep a conversation going for the length of a pass. When we're talking about linear satellite, low Earth orbiting satellites, we're only talking passes between 10 and maybe 20 minutes.
Right.
Because of the orbit size. We don't have any high altitude satellites at this point that make North America. The Europeans and the Africans and the West Asians have a hosted payload on a geostationary satellite called QO 100. It's actually on a Qataran communications satellite, but they worked with AMSAT Germany to put a hosted amateur radio payload on. So the folks in Europe and Africa and Asia can just stick a small little dish that does 2.4 gigs down and up and 10 gigs down, and they can talk 24/7 on satellite to folks all around that part of the world, but the footprint doesn't get beyond Brazil.
Right,
and the edge of Newfoundland. So it's not yet, but there are hopes and plans for something like that here in the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah, well, if you want old radios, they have old radios here. Some classics. Some a little bit newer. This is probably 70s, 80s right there. That's just a receiver. That's not a transmitter. The classic looking microphones here. Some desktop mics. Some power distribution. I needed to get something for my car. Not necessarily that though. Not that style. Straight keys. Paddles. Iambic paddles. The straight key, it's however long you hold it down, that's how long the ton's going to be. Those, one side will be dashes, the other side will be dots. Code oscillator. Tons of things. Connectors. Ferrite chokes. This is High-Tech Liquidators, Northwest Radio. Y'all have seen me do a couple of POTA activations, and this is a nice all-in-one POTA system. You got the ASU 891, you got the external tuner and the battery. And you said the digi-rig's in there?
Right here.
Oh, there it is on the right. There you go.
All the connections for your laptop. All in one.
Very sweet, very sweet. All for $12.31.
Well, that's retail.
That's retail. Oh, so you're selling it for $100?
Selling for $9.75.
Pretty cool. Pretty nice setup. Prep Hand Paul is here, and he's got a freeze dryer at home, so he's got a little bit of everything out here. Ice cream sandwiches, Skittles. I'm not sure what these are. What are these, Paul?
We got Werther's right here. It's the only one I haven't assigned for. These are Werther's caramels, and these are sugar-free Starburst. These are all sugar-free.
Oh, that's what they look like when they just blow up in a little ball, huh?
Yeah, and you can test these have sugar though, so.
Okay. Well, I might test some of that.
Yeah, just a few things.
Oh, your old, I'm not familiar with that.
That's the non-USB one.
Is this yours?
That particular Behringer.
Yeah, it probably is.
Paul's got a little bitty channel. Prep Hand Paul.
I am getting close to 4,000.
Really?
And we all know.
Last I checked, you just hit 3,000.
We all know at 3,000 that was a big deal according to that video.
So 4,000 subscribers. But it's Prep Hand Paul, and I'm on there every Sunday night with them at 8:30. So Central. So
we do our little Sunday night rack show.
yeah.
And we occasionally bring people on that destroy the channel.
That's right. Last week was fun.
But we had fun.
Absolutely.
I live streamed yesterday for about an hour, but
I watched it.
I couldn't really do anything on it. It was on my phone. So.
I watched it. I was texting people telling them to wave to the camera, and they didn't even know it was on. So,
all right.
There we go. All right, man.
Yeah, I didn't bring much today. I got gloves and some candy is pretty much it.
Well, very cool.
And I kind of want to peruse the area today. I didn't get to look yesterday. And I'm hoping to win the 710.
Me too.
Which is right there.
Oh, so you want a second one, huh? Oh, this is the field version. There's the AESS.
You know what's interesting though is I pulled up the Icon 7300. It's $400 off right now.
400 off the 73.
Yeah, honest review of the Skittles. They were delicious. I had 3 pieces, maybe 3 or 4 pieces. Sometimes they clump up together. Sweet is an understatement. It creates a whole different flavor profile for them. So, if you see Prep Hand Paul and he's selling that not dehydrated, freeze-dried items, they're really good. It totally changes everything on there. Had to run out to the car. It's a little nippy out here, but if you want to see a bunch of antennas, come to a ham convention. Lots of antennas out here. This guy's got 4 on his. He must be doing some DFing with that. They all look the same, so I bet that's what he's doing there. And then there's his regular antenna. Lots of mag mounts. There's lots of antennas in this parking lot. And ham radio plates. Digital Rancher is supposedly having a satellite pass, and he was going to demonstrate it, but I'm not sure where he went. So I thought it was going to be in this parking lot out here. There's a roped off area, but building's kind of in the way, so I imagine it's going to be on the other side. See if we can catch up with him. There's my shadow in there. Still a bit brisk out here. Still a bit brisk.
Yeah, I'm going to do a couple of more passes later. Hopefully it'll be a little warmer, but we're going to give it a go.
So this is Rob, the Digital Rancher.
Yep.
Check him out on YouTube. It's got a... Y'all can get him here.
AO 123 pass.
AO 123, which is one of those satellites we were talking about earlier.
It's a fairly low pass. We've got a lot of power lines here. I'm hoping it's not
It's not too bad.
detrimental, but we're going to give it a try regardless. The pass is going to start in the south, and it's going to end over in this direction here in the north.
All right. How much time till it comes in?
4 minutes, 44 seconds.
4 minutes, 44 seconds. You got a great concern of all these power lines everywhere. And these are not just neighborhood power lines. There's some higher voltage power lines nearby too. So we'll see how this contact goes with all this RF interference here. Nice little recorder there.
This is an AO123 pass. January 18th, 2025 at the Cowtown Hamfest. This is a 32-degree pass. Always record it, because if it's an active pass, it goes fast and furious, and you're not going to remember all the
call signs.
All the call signs. All right, we got satellite up. I'm using ISS detector as my app to track the satellite.
So how long is the total pass going to last about?
10 minutes, 36 seconds.
Okay, cool.
Which is pretty average for a pass, FM satellite pass. The early minutes of the pass usually aren't very productive. Satellite's just coming over the horizon. You should start to hear it if we've got some activity on it. There we go. I twist the antenna here to change the polarization. Try to match the polarization of the satellite.
Okay, I'm starting to hear something.
There we go.
This is radio right there.
Still only 8 degrees over the horizon. It's still pretty low.
It should get stronger as it gets.
Yeah, as the satellite gets higher in the sky. I mean, I've got a lot of obstructions down there. And once I get about 25% of the way into the pass, I'll adjust the frequency for Doppler shift. Right now we're about 10 kilohertz above the frequency of the satellite.
So somebody's keying up somewhere.
Either that or I'm picking up interference.
I don't know, it's pretty, the noise goes down pretty quick.
I'm adjusting the frequency. I'm now 5 kilohertz above the frequency of the satellite. It's good practice to make sure you can hear the satellite before you transmit to the satellite.
I'm curious if there's going to be as many people doing this outdoors with a cold front that came in.
Yeah.
Because it's affecting the entire nation.
Now the high point of the satellite is going to be straight over here, so I'm getting close to my best opportunity. Still not heard like a full call sign or a good call sign. W5 ITR, echo like 1 to 2, and then I can hear myself in the downlink.
Nobody's out here crazy enough to get in the cold to do it.
W5 ITR, echo mic 1 2. Kilo 5 Oscar Lima, come back please. Kilo 5 Echo mic 5-4. Echo mic 5-4, I copy. I'm echo mic 1-2. That's W5 ITR, Whiskey 5 India Tango Romeo. All right, thanks so much, 7-3. There we go. got one.
There you go. That's all you need. It wasn't the power lines that was causing you problems, because that came in crystal clear. It was the weather. It is so bitterly cold. I can barely feel my fingers right now. I don't have a coat on, but that's Digital Rancher. Check him out on YouTube. Let's get inside. Oh my gosh, it's cold. Ah, good. There's a lot of people in here. See how red my hands are. That's cold. That's real cold. Nobody was doing the satellite because it was too dang cold. So I got plenty of people in here generating some BTUs. I'm going to try to warm up.
Greetings, everybody. I know there's a lot to talk about, and I'm not going to do all the talking. I want to do most of the listening. But the two most important things I want to do today is listen to y'all's feedback, answer questions best I can. Everybody hear me okay? All right. Okay. Good deal. And do 2 award presentations and introduce our new section emergency coordinator to everybody. On behalf of all the members in the ARRL North Texas section, I present the ARRL 2024 Ham of the Year Award to Bud. Thank you for your service to your community and to our fellow amateur radio operators. Our next person is a small token of thanks to this individual from me. And this is a person that has been by my side on the ecom side of the house since almost day one that I took office back in 2019. He's been serving alongside me for 6 years now as our section emergency coordinator. Greg, would you come right on up, please, and accept this token of my appreciation on behalf of all of our members. Thank you so much, brother. And the only reason he's stepping down, he has not been ousted by any stretch of the imagination. He's going to become a South Texan. So, boo. Yeah. Yes. But he's still, yes, that's correct. And they know it too. They know that they're gaining. And he has agreed to continue to help me out with webmaster duties for our ARRL North Texas website. And my thanks is like, I can't express how much. So,
thank you.
Anything you want to say?
It's been an honor serving you guys, working with you. Dave Martin, which is one of my assistant section managers, or section emergency coordinators, and he's an assistant section manager.
Yep.
Fred Varian, WD5ERD, John Galvin, and a couple others have been instrumental, but the most instrumental person was Maureen, K5XPO. She's always there. She's always helped me. She shares in this as much as I do, because without her I wouldn't have been able to do what I did, and she kept me on my toes. Mike Nelson, who's taken over the role, he will do a good job, I know. I'm still here for another probably at least 8 months in the area, so at least that's, I don't know how long it's going to take them to build a house for me, but that's what they're doing. So, only thing I can impart to all of you is, from an emergency standpoint, emergency communication standpoint, there will be a need. We don't know what it's going to take the form of, but always be ready for it. Denton County is an example of an ARRL organization that works in coordination with Denton County, the city of Denton. They're one of my star groups. I've never had to, anytime I've asked from Mike anything, it's been there. So I've never had to really worry about them. So MCOM is a very important factor of all of this. It may not seem that way, but if you look at what happened during the eclipse, nothing major happened, but we all stood up. We were all there. And the exercise was an awesome exercise back in February. That was the first time we did something together with state races on a very formal level. So if you're an EC or AEC or even a DEC, go join the state races, because that'll provide the connection there to the state. Tommy Gonzalez, who's emergency communications, has said that amateur radio is a primary function that they need at TDEM. They may not use this every day, but they're always thinking about us. We're on the planning, and hopefully in my new role, wherever that is, I can still interface with that. And by the way, I'm giving a presentation, I think, at TDEM.
Yes, you are.
So that's going to be cool.
Anyway. Nelson is not a stranger to e-com, and he has been very involved in the e-com, and so he's going to slide right in. And Greg and Mike have been talking already, I believe, and they're going to work with each other while it takes another year or two for Greg's house to get done. And Noreen just threw spikes in my back. I can feel it. You go ahead and speak for a few minutes.
Awesome.
There, Mike.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah, Steve gave me a call a few weeks ago out of the blue and said that Greg was moving to the area, and that asked me if I'd be interested. So we talked a little bit about what the role and responsibilities were. So I can do that. Greg, thanks for everything you've done for the section. Great following there. So appreciate that. And so we'll be talking and doing our handover. So, a little bit about me. I live in Denton County. I know many people here. I'm the Assistant Emergency Coordinator for Denton County areas. Steve mentioned, or Greg mentioned Texas State Races. I'm the County Liaison Officer for Denton County for Texas State Races. I've got my hand in volunteer organizations and public, giving back to the community in many ways. Denton County CERT, I've been a captain and a member of them for probably 15 plus years. Trainer there and captain there. I used to be in Texas Army RS, so emergency communications in general is not strange to me. I've been heavily involved in the Skywarn program, either as a spotter and then net control NCS. So look forward to it. Look forward to meeting with the assistants, SECs, and then the division coordinators and everybody. Thank you again for the opportunity. I look forward to it. We'll get going.
Thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate it.
So I went to a couple events, seminars, and the tables are becoming blank. So thanks for hanging out with me. This is just kind of a swap meet. There's a couple sessions where we were up there. What you saw was the ARRL session, the North Texas section, where we talk about what's going on with the ham radio and how can the ARRL help us. So let me show you something. The ARRL is the National Association for Amateur Radio, and they started as the Amateur Radio Relay League. You can pass a message from one side of the United States to the other, but it developed into the National Association for Amateur Radio. They're the group that helps us nationally and represents us nationally. Matters of government affairs as well. So that's the ARRL. Of course, I call it the ARRL. It's ARRL.org if you're interested in learning more about them. They have a website. They have a lot of resources for amateur radio and other things as well. But since they're putting up, I think I'm going to put up as well. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to have fun doing it. But for now, y'all take care. Be safe. Bye. remote towers here.
I got rid of
The kangaroo.